What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what's really happening behind the scenes, and what shorts are up to. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is up 1.55%. Pre-market, there was a hell of a lot of optimism that it was going to continue to break out into the $6 range. But as soon as the market did open, it just tanked. You did have some buying first thing though. Right here that I'm going to talk on in a second, but $5.18 the low, $5.49 the high. And even over the last 2 hours, there's been a hell of a lot of barcoding, and you can see that just based on all of that. And aside from that though, 55.4 million shares being traded, 85.7 is the average. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price, a good more than half of them at least are buys. You can tell that anything with an ask is a buy. So big entities are buying behind the scenes, and there hasn't been any news associated to NIO today. As you guys can see right here, no SEC filings. Rather, it is data. Not coming from the States, but China. So you can kind of see just a lot of solid data. So unemployment lower than anticipated, 5.1 versus 5.3. GDP better than anticipated on a quarter-over-quarter basis. Retail sales phenomenal. You also had the industrial production higher. So all of this is very good. And so yeah, essentially Chinese stocks are taking a nice solid run up. And I think at the same time, in NIO's case, you're just having some unnecessary manipulation that is really dragging it down, because as of right now, shorts are increasing 2.05 million shares. There are a hell of a lot more shorts than that, just been kind of trading back and forth. Remember that 2.05 is just net, but 13.07% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 174.59 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization is 95.41, and then short score 74.63. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And then cost to borrow average is 3.35. And then I just want to bring this up, often enough with NIO, you have seen this cost to borrow minimum negative, but even at 0.09, that is a annual rate. So there is a broker out there really trying to stimulate shorting with NIO. Who that broker is, unfortunately, I don't think any of us are able to tell, but through IBKR, you can see that they do charge 2.13. So it's not them, it is, I don't know. So if you guys have different brokers, just double check to see maybe their cost to borrow, and you might find the culprit there. But aside from that, 8.6 million shares is available to be shorted. So if shorts were really determined to bring NIO down, there's more than enough ammunition for them to do so. So it is what it is, still not making an excuse for it, but yeah, it's kind of annoying. And generally, just looking at what shorts have been doing, they've been really increasing quite a lot, despite all that volatility that's been happening with NIO. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Looking at options, 3.04 million in calls, 1.37 million in puts. Very little dollar value getting in today. So somewhat matching a little bit with the common stock, but 45% of all the options being done are optimistic and bullish. And of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 550 for this week, and then in excess of $6 for next week. And then looking at the puts, you see a consensus for it to be sub $5, but you have a lot more optimism today rather than the last 2 days. The last 2 days, you had those sporadic like $3 puts and everything. That seems to have disappeared momentarily, so we'll just have to wait and see. But with today being Friday, looking at the open interest, and currently with it at $5.24, you have 9,000 at that $5 strike price, 12,000 at that 550, and then 39 at that 6. And so forth and so forth. So this is the negative side of doing options, because as of right now, it looks like everything above that 550 is going to expire worthless. So it does kind of suck, but 9,000 is going to get most likely covered by market makers, whether it be after hours today or if not tomorrow during the trading day. And hopefully with that good data coming out from China today, that might incentivize some more institutions to really get in. Same on the level that's happening today. So we'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now, with it at $5.24, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So $5.19 is going to be the strong support, kind of bounced off of that general area for the low today. Then $5.31. 38, and then 550 is going to be the next strong resistance levels, and it kind of bounced off of this R3. So NIO did want to break out, it just didn't have the good support coming from institutions, and plus at the same time you had shorts really increase straight away, and you can see that based on this right here. So as soon as the market did open, they really doubled down. So it's a lot of manipulation. That's kind of the norm, I guess, for NIO. But as of right now, on the actual chart itself, it is kind of still sitting on top of that 200-day moving average and as well that 50. So a very good support level above that. Aside from that, hopefully NIO is able to put out some good pieces of news prior to their next month's kind of delivery numbers. And because right now stochastic is very oversold, so good piece of news, more so a surprise one, could really cause NIO to move higher. But I guess with the frustration of everything of it going down a good like 20% over the last little bit, retail has just dropped off like crazy. So yeah, what's your guys' thoughts on NIO? Of course, the broader market has been rallying during this time frame, so maybe some retail was selling out just to buy other, I guess more so American stocks or something along those lines. So if that is you, give yourself a shout out on potentially why, and at what price would you cycle back into NIO. So what's your guys' thoughts, as well as with shorts increasing? So yeah, all in all, with that said, I appreciate all you guys watching. Two things: take advantage of this promo. It does give you 8 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. And I did launch membership, so if you like my NIO content and want to support the channel, you can definitely do that. Or there is also a tier for just buy signals on stocks and options. So highly recommend you guys taking a look at that. With all that said, appreciate all you guys watching.